Are you tired of constantly fixating on your relationship? Don't you wish you could just enjoy yourself and stop thinking about every little thing that's not perfect or could potentially go wrong? Well, then you've come to the right place. Today, I'm going to give you my best advice on how you can stop overthinking your relationship and just exist. Hi, I'm Emily Baker from LoveLearnings. While you're here, please subscribe to this channel and leave a comment for all the other overthinkers watching right now. So, why is it that we overthink? And why does our relationship always seem to be the subject of our thoughts? I see overthinking as a symptom of insecurity. When we're in a situation where we feel that we have no agency, our only option is to try to think our way out of the problem. We don't feel like we can speak our minds or make change because we're afraid to ruin a good thing. And overthinking is also a bid for control. When we find that we're in a situation that is out of our control, it can be terrifying. We'd always like to believe that whatever happens is our responsibility. That means that simply by making the right choice at the right time, we can do anything we want. In reality, there are many situations where we have little to no control, and the sooner we accept that, the happier we'll be able to be in life. And as far as relationships go, we overthink them because they're just so important. I'm sure that I don't have to tell you that relationships are a huge part of our lives. And while they bring us happiness, they're difficult and can be extremely confusing because they're so emotionally charged. Not only that, but they don't exactly come with an instruction manual. And unlike other aspects of our lives, it's not as easy to get good advice about how to handle them, outside of my channel, that is. Sure, we can vent to our friends and family when we have a relationship issue, but since relationships are all unique, happen one-on-one, and are extremely intimate, it's pretty unlikely that we'll be able to find someone who knows the relationship well enough to give us helpful advice. Contrast this with something like work or school, where you have coworkers who may have gone through the exact same struggles and are able to intervene or get a better view of things. At the end of the day, relationship problems are up to us to solve. Now, since this video is about how to stop overthinking your relationships, understand that we're mostly not going to talk about your relationship at all. This is all about moving past that. It turns out that most of the ways you avoid overthinking work regardless of what it is you're thinking about. But there will be a couple of tips that are relationship specific, so don't worry. Write it down. Writing is something that many people don't even consider doing when they're dealing with an issue like this one. I know we all just hope it would go away, but if you're watching this video, it means that no amount of ignoring your thoughts has worked to this point. Writing down what you're feeling on a piece of paper or even on your phone can be extremely cathartic. It doesn't have to be well written or even make sense to anyone but you, and no one else has to read it. This exercise is just about clarifying your thoughts and externalizing them. It's like an escape valve that lets some of the negativity out of your head so you don't explode. This is why journaling can be so powerful, and why therapy apps have exploded in recent years. Writing is a powerful tool that just about anyone can make use of. Get outside. I find that being alone in the dark is the worst thing you can do if you're stuck in your head. And yet, it's so easy to get stuck there. So, when you find that you're going through a period of overthinking your relationship, fight the urge to curl up on the couch and instead get outside and live your life. Just going for a walk can be enough to change your mindset completely. And if you're able to involve friends or family, that's even better. This isn't just about distracting yourself for one moment. It's about reminding yourself of the bigger picture. The birds are chirping, the sun is shining, and there are more things in the world than this one relationship. Enjoy the early stages. We talked about how overthinking is often driven by insecurity, and it's so easy to feel insecure early on in dating. Before you've made things official, all you know is you really like this person, and they seem to feel the same way. You're examining every text message and every interaction for clues about how they feel and whether this thing is going anywhere. I know it's hard, but you need to make every effort you can to stop yourself from getting sucked into this behavior. Try to think of it this way. The early stages of a relationship aren't just a job interview to see if you're worthy of his attention. They're also about trying to see if you're a good match. I know you may feel head over heels right now, but take a step back and start looking at him differently. Remember that he has to impress you just as much as you impress him. So don't feel like you're on trial or that he's got all the power. This has to work for both of you, or not at all. And beyond that aspect of things, these early stages are really about getting to know one another and enjoying your time together. I know it's intense and nerve-wracking, but that's because it's exciting and magical. So don't get wrapped up in your own head and just try to live in the moment whenever you're together. And when you're apart, try to forget he even exists and live your life. Develop trust. This is the only real way that you'll eliminate overthinking in your relationship in the long run. Overthinking happens because you two don't fully trust one another. And that makes total sense in the beginning of a relationship. But as time goes on and you start to grow closer, you'll see this is someone you can rely on, or not. If they are, you'll start to build trust. And whatever small qualms you may have about the relationship, you'll know that you can work them out together. There's no special way to do this, and it's not a process that can be rushed. It comes with time spent together, consistency, and empathy from both of you. So, if you want to do one thing to start building trust right now, you can start by being someone that's worthy of trust, reliable, and good to your word. Positive reframing. One of the reasons that we overthink has to do with evolution. In the wild, there wasn't a huge advantage to appreciating what you had. Your only goal was to find your next meal and a warm place to sleep. You had to be constantly aware of the possible threats in the environment. That same part of our brain is the one that prevents us from being grateful for the things that are going right in life. We feel compelled to be on the lookout for danger. In this case, it's emotional rather than physical danger that we're obsessing over. So, a great way to interrupt this tendency is through positive reframing. Say you're worried that your boyfriend isn't as affectionate as you want him to be. You wonder, am I unlovable? Is he going to break up with me? I think we all know that this is an extreme reaction to something small, but that knowledge doesn't make a difference when we're in the depths of overthinking. So, something you can do is reframe this issue. Think about how lucky you are to have a boyfriend who treats you well and respects your boundaries. He may be busy and not always as present as you want him to be, but at the end of the day, he always comes home to you because he wants to be with you. And despite your differences, you're able to come together and have a relationship that makes you happy, even if you do have bumps in the road, like this one. This is what I'm talking about by reframing. It's zooming out to see the whole picture and appreciate the good things that you get to experience. This process is often difficult, but the more you do it, the more you'll realize just how lucky you are. Of course, this doesn't discount actual issues you may be having in your relationship, but you need to draw a line between those serious things you need to address and those that you're just obsessing over. Address your issues. There are times when you're overthinking things just for the sake of it, and then there are times when it's pointing to a real issue that needs to be addressed. It's not always easy to tell the difference, but one of the best indicators is if it doesn't go away in a week or so, then it may be something that you need to talk about. I know overthinkers will avoid bringing up this stuff because we're afraid that we're just making a big deal over nothing, but there are going to be times when it's the best course of action, even if it just means getting a little reassurance and letting your partner in on what goes on in your head. So sit them down, voice your concerns in a non-judgmental way, and hash it out. Remember that if you two can handle conflict calmly and with empathy, it can actually bring you two closer together rather than driving you apart. And as important as having your voice heard is listening to what he has to say in response. You won't always be able to predict where this is going, so try and be patient and let it happen naturally. That just about does it for this video. Do you have any tips about how to prevent overthinking? I'd love to hear them down in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm Emily Baker, and I'll see you next time.